Are we live?
Hello, guys.
Yay! Hi, everybody. We're back.
Hello.
Long time no see.
Welcome to Diverse, episode 6. And today we have Tyler Whitkin as our special guest, and
hello,
along with our fabulous crew.
Well, we're really excited tonight because Merekat, this is your first time hosting?
Yes, my
so
first
Merekat,
time.
Yep, she's in the hot seat tonight, everybody. So she's our host, our gracious host. I'm going to be alongside her as co-host, and she's prepared a pretty awesome show for us tonight. So we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. So I'm Merekat. Let's introduce the crew of ours. I can start. I'm a variety streamer as well as an active Star Citizen player nowadays. I have been playing for about a year or so, and I got into Diverse. I think it was at episode 2 probably.
Uh-huh.
And I'm excited to be here.
Very excited.
Why don't you, Sophie, go next?
I'm Sofiegrl. I'm a Star Citizen hobbyist streamer. It's a Star Citizen's a game I love and a game I play, and I stream it to, just kind of entertain myself and entertain you. So I don't have a set schedule or anything like that. I stream when I can. I do Diverse with these ladies, and what we try to do with Diverse is hear from other Star Citizen community members. And fortunately tonight we were able to get Tyler Whitkin, who's the CIG, one of the 2 CIG community managers, and we're very happy to have you here, Tyler. Pretty exciting for us.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, that's kind of my story. MzHartz?
Hello, I'm MzHartz. I stream Star Citizen, creative graphic design stream, and original Nintendo games. And I've been involved with Star Citizen for over 2 years now. Been streaming on my own for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a Star Citizen problem, and I'm addicted.
Awesome.
How about you, Fall?
My name is Fall. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch TV. I'm also a Star Citizen enthusiast. I've been backing for over 2 years now. It'll be 3 years in December, so that's very exciting. I'm excited to be here. It's been a while. We took December off, so we have so much to talk to you guys about and fill you guys in with.
Fall, you said it'll be 3 years in December?
Yeah.
Me too.
Ooh! See, I think I met you right around the same time as well.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's exciting. And who is this lovely gentleman we have with us?
Yeah, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Tyler Whitkin, also known as Zyloh, community manager in the Austin, Texas studio, working alongside Disco Lando, Jared Huckabee in LA. And it is an absolute honor to be here with these lovely people. So I really appreciate you guys inviting me to hang out.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah. So, yay.
So what have everyone been up to lately?
Do you want to go first?
Well, let someone else talk first.
Well, actually, I was so PAX South just happened, and Fall, I know you were there, and Tyler, you were there. So if you guys don't mind, I'd kind of like to have a little story time and hear how that went.
You want to go first, Tyler?
Sure. PAX South I love PAX South because it's so close to home, right? Conventions are always fun, but this is nice because it's like an hour drive for me from Austin. And this doesn't just pertain to PAX South, but all events that have a Bar Citizen attached to them, they're the best. And the reason why is because we go to these events and we get to hang out with so many people that we talk to online. I'm sure a lot of you have been to events and met somebody who you've been talking to online for, in some situations, years. Yep. And you're like, oh my gosh, I know your username, I know your voice, and now I know you in person. So I got to experience that a little bit. At the Bar Citizen, I'm in a cross gaming guild that I've been in for about 7 years. So long before Star Citizen, before I was at Blizzard. So I've been playing with these guys in multiple games for a very long time. And they showed up to the Bar Citizen, which was
awesome.
like the coolest thing ever, because I was like, you've been my friend for 7 years, and I didn't even know what you looked like. So that was really rewarding. And then, of course, hanging out with all the backers, just I said it in the weekly schedule this week. It really recharges the battery. Lando and I were talking about it when we got into work on Monday, that we were just pumped and hyped for this week, and hanging out with everybody does that. So the Bar Citizen was great. That was probably the highlight of my weekend. Getting to go up to Nolan's room. We hung out there for a bit, and getting to see Fast Card and Astro and Bad News Baron and DJ. And I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And I had a friend ask me what I was most looking forward to with PAX South. For me, the convention's cool and all, but I mean, once you've seen a convention, you've seen them all to some extent. But the people, right? It's one giant safe place for us geeks to come together and geek out about whatever we geek out about in one safe place. And so it was fantastic. And I got to hang out with Fall, which is always a blast. So what about you, Fall? How was your PAX South experience?
Honestly, I'd have to completely agree with you on that. I've been to a ton of conventions in my lifetime. This was my second PAX South alone, the third PAX South to ever exist. And it's basically, like he said, once you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's all about meeting your friends and meeting people that you've played with online. It's all about that experience. And it was interesting going across the show floor, because Tyler was, elsewhere, because it's a big place. So you kind of get separated a lot. And there would be people that would come up and be like, hey, I like the Star Citizen lanyard you have on. You play Star Citizen? Like, where can I get one of those? And going, oh, hey, actually, there's an event going on later tonight. You want to come to a bar, hang out, meet the community managers, stuff like that.
Yep.
And so many people came out. It was surprising how many people that aren't normally a part of like the Twitch community and stuff like that came out and hung out at the Bar Citizen. And of course, it was awesome to meet like Tak and Orlani and see Nax again, and streamers like Roo Smash, DJ Knight, Bad News Baron, stuff like that. Obviously, Captain Richard, all sorts of awesome streamers and members of the community. And Admiral Nolan, of course, going to his place too. But yeah, it was just a great party. It really was.
Yeah. It was packed, and there was a lot of people that came to the Bar Citizen event, like you said, that hadn't really gotten involved with Star Citizen, but that had just heard that there was something going down. And that was really cool, getting to see, I don't know if outsiders is the right word, but just people who weren't familiar with the game or the community coming in, and you could kind of recognize them right off the bat, because they were kind of staying around the edge, maybe not being so talkative. Yeah, but I kept seeing, and especially, I wish I remember their names. There was one group of people that were kind of making an effort to go around and talk to everybody and be like, hey, so, how long have you been a backer? What ships do you have? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's really cool to see. And I saw them interact with some people that had never played Star Citizen, but that had been drinking with backers all day. And they were like, seemed like good people. And by the end of the night, they were like looking at ships on their phone and looking at the website. Like, it's just cool. I like that our community welcomes new people, right? Yes. Because it's very easy for our community to get sidetracked with, it can become cliquey because we all kind of come from this place together, from this crowdfunded start to where we are now. And so seeing the community open their arms to new people, it was just the coolest thing ever.
Exactly. That reminds me, there were those Warframe streamers, weren't there? There were a few people that had never heard of Star Citizen before, but were way into sci-fi games and found out about the event somehow and came by to check it out and ended up like meeting everybody and just having a great time. So it'll be exciting to see those people come into the community and, hopefully stream, and we can grow the Star Citizen community even more. It'll be very awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's always been my experience with the Bar Citizen events. You end up becoming friends with everybody that's around you, so you don't feel like an outsider ever. I'm an introvert. I'm actually pretty shy with other people, but being at a Bar Citizen event, other people are like that too. And then you just kind of bond over ships and video games, and I don't know, just kind of being a little quirky, maybe. I don't know.
No, totally.
But there's this sense of ease, and then everybody's, before you know it, sitting around talking and hugging and sharing pictures and sharing projects. Like there was the Bar Citizen event that was here in Florida. This guy has a sim pit in his house. Like this.
Oh yeah.
Did you go to that?
No, I haven't been, but I had fun talking to him.
Yeah. So, I mean, really kind of kind of a quiet guy. You wouldn't really assume he had an entire sim pit in his house. We're talking sim pit plus, I have a space so you could come over and bring your friend, and your friend can jump in the turret while you're flying the ship. It's like, what?
Yeah.
But that's what makes it really cool, is that there's a lot of people who have their projects going on, and it's very surprising and just great.
No, I totally agree. The cool thing about Bar Citizens to me, from like a CIG perspective, is that these things were really, like, the movement spread not because of us, but because of the community. They made a thing, like they nourished it, and it just spread like all around the globe. Look at barcitizen.sc. I mean, shout out to Joran and all of the coordinators.
Joran's a champ.
But what they've done is they've built a level of, and I'm around like repeating lines from the schedule post I did, because I mean it's also true. They've built a level of camaraderie that is unparalleled in gaming communities. And that's why people always ask us, hey, can you do this or that or this for the Bar Citizen? And we like to support it via social media posts, via ATV call outs. But really, we just don't want to touch it, because this is something the community has done that's brought them together, and we love it. So we just want to support it. So it's awesome.
Well, and like what I said last year when I went to PAX South, is although I met so many people for the first time, it didn't feel like I was meeting them for the first time. Yeah. It felt like friends and family that I'd known forever and just finally got to meet in person, but that I already knew them.
Yeah, totally. Yep. It's a bizarre feeling. It really is.
It is.
It really is.
And by the way, the floor... Oh, go ahead.
I'm actually quite jealous. I haven't been to any events yet because
you will. You'll get there.
But
have there been any in your area?
No, not really, because Finland is such a small country. It doesn't really have that tight community in gaming either.
Gotcha. Sounds like an opportunity to start that community.
Do you think you'll be able to go to CitizenCon?
Well, maybe not this year, but I'm hoping that I can save up to it. So let's see.
Hopefully you get there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, last year was a great experience.
It really was. It was one of the funnest events I think I've ever been to.
Yeah, when we were doing the interviews on the floor and the whole DJ night chant happened.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It was like totally unplanned. We're just interviewing. I'm like, yeah, I'm here with DJ night, blah, blah, blah. And like, I was kind of nervous.
The place erupted.
I hadn't done like interview. They call them man on the street interviews before, so it was a new experience for me.
Yeah.
And DJ, I didn't have to do anything, right? That was the easiest job ever with DJ's interview. The whole crowd went nuts, and like I was standing there supposed to like keep your composure, but I had like goosebumps. It's like all these citizens just showing support. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It was. Yeah. And just him dancing down the aisle as they're chanting it was like the greatest thing ever too. I was dying.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
I have got a question. I don't know if you can answer it, Tyler, but have you heard anything like from Chris Roberts? Has he expressed, have you ever heard him say like, wow, this is amazing phenomenon? I never thought, has he ever commented on the community
just like on the
support?
Community? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Loves the community. He absolutely loves the community. I mean, honestly, like Chris Roberts, of course, but it goes beyond that. It's everybody in the company, and a lot of the people who work at CIG now, they left wherever they were at. And in a lot of situations, they're like major AAA studios. They had a lot going for them for a couple of reasons. Number one is obviously because of the game. Getting to work on a game like this is like a dream for a developer. And then in addition, the amount of support we have from the community is unreal. I mean, you could talk numbers and be like, look how much funding we have, but I see it in a different light, right? I see that in an amount of love and amount of passion and amount of desire that people want this game. I don't think there's anybody in CIG, not Chris, from the bottom to the top, that isn't so taken aback by just how amazing our community is. I mean, I had no idea that I was going to be on the community team when I came here. Like, my path was completely different than this. But when I was in QA, I just fell in love. Like, genuinely, like, I consider so much of this community to just be family, and I'm definitely not alone in that sentiment. So,
where did you start out within CIG initially?
I joined QA, and my goal was to go into design, specifically level design. That's what I went to school for. It was my passion. I was just spending all my free time doing 3D art, specifically for level block out, learning level design fundamentals. learning scripting, learning the CryEngine, Unreal, blah, 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 blah. And then once I came here, got into the meat of development, learned a lot. And one thing led to another. And I don't know, the community. I can't imagine doing anything else. This job has kind of ruined me, to be honest. Like, I'm like, man, what if someday I'm not at CIG? Like, this is like the best it's ever going to be, because it's just amazing. So.
Yeah. Was your working with CIG the first contact you ever had with Star Citizen?
No, actually. So there's a funny story here. I don't know if you want to hear a boring story. It's not that funny.
Yes.
But
of course.
So I worked at Blizzard. I worked at Blizzard Entertainment for about 5 years, and I did a lot of like anti-cheat, account administration, like the support side of things. And there was a guy that I worked with on my team named Justin Binford. You may have seen him in some of the ATB episodes. And he left Blizzard, and I didn't see him for years. And then I ran into him at a bar once. And by the way, I don't even remember what your original question was, so I'm hoping
just keep going.
I'm hoping the story rolls with it. So, but yeah, I ran into him at a bar. We all hung out, and he was asking me what I've been up to. And I was like, oh, I've just been doing a lot of level design stuff, specifically with the CryEngine. And I was just like raving about the CryEngine. I was just like, oh, look at this cool thing, and let me put my portfolio on my phone, and blah, blah, blah. And like, I didn't know what was going on in his world. And so, we got drunk, and we were jolly. We were merry, and said goodbye. And then a few months later, he reached out to me. He's like, hey, you still doing all that CryEngine stuff? And I was like, yeah. And so he was like, well, you want to come in and check out where I'm working and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I remember your question now. And so he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm working on this game called Star Citizen. And I was like, oh, I totally know what that was. And I had only learned about it that year, which was like the beginning of 2014. And it was one of those things where I saw it and I was like, I love this. This looks amazing. However, I was like, I'll back it, but I'm not going to like be plugged into the matrix for it, just because I'm a survival game fan. So the amount of survival games that I've seen come out early access and then stay early access for too long, and I was just like a little bit like, it looks amazing, so I'm going to get involved. I'm going to learn about it, and then I'm going to take a step back and wait for it. And so he brought that up. I was like, oh, that's so funny, because my friends and I were talking about it. And so I went in, had an interview, and left Blizzard, which was one of the scariest things I've done in my life, just because I loved it there and I was very comfortable. I worked in an office with 800 people. When you work in an office with 800 people that are all Blizzard fans, you make a lot of best friends that have similar hobbies. And so it was really hard to leave. And I almost didn't, but I just did my homework and I saw what Chris and his team was trying to do. And I was like, this is an opportunity for me to go outside of my comfort zone. I think this is a good opportunity, and who wouldn't want to be a part of this project? And of course I went in like super nervous, and I actually worked here for 4 weeks after I accepted, and it was just so much, right? Because after doing Blizzard for 5 years, I had all my processes and everything in place. I was so comfortable I could just do it with my eyes closed. And then I came here, and it was just like culture shock for me, because I was like, now I'm embedded in development, doing QA, interacting with all these developers, blah blah blah. And I was like, there was a day when I was like, can I do this? Like, should I be here? Like, I don't know. And I remember I called my mom, and I was like, I don't know, like I'm just really freaking out, and I miss Blizzard and my friends. And my coworkers here were like, I told them, and they were like, just stick it out for 2 months, see if you get comfortable. It's like riding a bike. And so I did, and 2 months later, I was like, I'm so happy, and I've been here since. So it's been a couple of years now. Yeah,
well, we're glad you're
That's
there.
awesome.
But yeah. So yeah, the beginning of 2014 is when I investigated Star Citizen, and then I joined the team November 17th, 2014, right before patch 1.0 introduced the Avengers, the Avenger, and the Gladius, Mustangs, a bunch of others. Back when you could still put your hanger or your helmet on in the hangar. Yeah. So yeah, that's my story.
This one.
Which is a good story, yes.
Thank you.
Definitely. Where were we again? It was about the what have we been?
Oh, what
up
have
to
we been
lately?
doing?
Oh yeah, we're still back at that.
Merekat's keeping us on point. All right, Merekat.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll go next. I've been working a ton, so primarily just working and paying the bills, and taxes, around the corner, so I had to take care of that. And then just streaming when I can, playing when I can. I'm doing a show on every Tuesday night. That's been really fun. That's with Eden Star and Nikki Batgirl. If you guys don't know them, they're awesome other female gamers in the community
They are
who love Star
amazing
Citizen.
people.
Yeah, and they're really good at shooting you in the face. Like, they will not hesitate. You come around a corner and your face is off. Done. But every Tuesday night, so we'll have that on actually after this show. It's called Lightspeed Lunatics, and that's on at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and TheBaseRadio is so gracious to host us. They keep saying, like, yeah, I guess we'll do that again. Aside from that, Diverse the Verse, and then just streaming and living life.
Heck yeah.
That's it. Yeah, simple. Oh, biggest news ever. Hold on, real quick. Sorry, guys. You know
God.
Reggie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is Reggie. Guess what happened
Did he have a baby?
over Christmas? Even better.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
That's
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he's kind of got himself a little love affair going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's big news over here.
Aw. What about you, Hearts?
So, yeah, I've been streaming and working, of course. I'm also a belly dancer and performer, so I've had a lot of gigs recently, too. So I've been keeping busy.
That's super awesome.
Nice one.
MzHartz, I wanted to ask you,
Oh,
you were working on a book. I think it was sometime back in
Yeah,
October
so
or November.
November is National Novel Writing Month. And so every November I take the challenge to write a 50,000-word novel in 30 days. And this was the first year I'd actually streamed it. So I streamed a lot of my writing. It was weird. I didn't think anyone would want to watch that. But people watched me type, and then I would read it out, and I'd type the next part, and I'd read it out. And my viewers helped giving me ideas, and whenever I need a name for a character, someone would give me a name. So it was a lot of fun, and I actually think I would do that again.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's super fascinating. That seems like writing is like such like it's like
so
a very
fun.
intimate and personal thing. So doing it live, like I've never heard of anybody doing that before.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It was something
interesting.
that's Eric McKetton does it. And
Okay.
I figured, if McKetton can do it, I can do it. So I gave it a try. And it actually helped not only forward the story along, but it kept me on my word count and my goals for the day, too. So it was definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
and you, Fall?
Oh, well, I was at PAX South. No, I've been working a lot and streaming when I can. I usually stream on the weekends, but the weekends have been very busy with conventions and other things, so I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I've just been really busy with work, trying to get life settled,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about you, Tyler? What have you done other than PAX?
My job is very interesting, right? Because it's actually, if anybody, well, nobody has, I'm sure, but if you look at my LinkedIn, all of my previous jobs have like a bullet point list of stuff that I've done for that role. For here, it's blank because I don't know where to start. Like that sounds weird, but it's just because it's like there's so many different things. Every day is different. A lot of what I do is reactive for Skypes, emails, and for external communications. But it's been good. A lot of cool stuff coming soon that I can't go into too much detail about, but just the normal everyday life. It's been good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good to be back. The break that we had in December, everybody was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to have a break." But I think once we went on break, a lot of us realized that we were ready to get back because we're like, well, "You got stuff to, you got to keep your momentum." So it's definitely good to be back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I have a question. Are any of you guys going to PAX East?
I'm gonna
I have people
try.
trying to guilt me into it.
Mhm.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking like there's going to be a pretty epic Bar Citizen there. And I think Lando's going to fly down, and I'm going to go over there too. So it should be a really good time.
It'll be a lot
When
of fun.
is that one in August?
March
March.
11th and
March.
12th, I think. Something like
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, it'll be pretty awesome. Do you have a location already picked out for the Bar Citizen event? Is it already being organized?
The coolest thing about this, by the way, and I talked about this earlier.
Bless whoever that is.
Yeah, bless you, whoever you are.
Okay, bless you.
Sneezing. Bless you.
The cool thing I said about Bar Citizen earlier is, the community owns this. And it's funny, we were going to take the appropriate steps to get a Bar Citizen going since we were going to be in town. Same for PAX South, but coordinators have stepped up and handled it. So I think they've chosen a location. Don't remember exactly what it is, but Boston, it's the 10th through the 12th.
I think Fastcart had something to do with
Got
that.
it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fastcart's in charge
Yeah,
of most of that stuff.
I think you're right. But the venue looked really cool. I remember looking at it. I don't remember what it's called. And then in addition, just to rewind a little bit, we're also going to be a handful of us at GDC. And I think there's a Bay Area Bar Citizen for that event as well. So that'll be another fun one to look out for. And, yay,
That's
community
really
doing
cool.
cool things. I know, I love it. I can't get enough of the Bar Citizen thing just because it just blows my mind that they've come together, built this thing. Like, it's great.
It's such a great experience.
Yeah.
Merekat, what have you been up to?
Well, I graduated at Christmas, so
Oh,
that's
congratulations!
now finally done.
Uh,
And I've just been playing games and actually applying for jobs as well. That's been a lot of work, sort of. And I did one SC Lorecast that just came out last week. I was voice acting the role of Octavia Watt, who was this 127-year-old nice lady.
Is that out already?
Wales. Yeah, it is. It's found on YouTube.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to check that out.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Mhm.
And I did win a MechWarrior online tournament just a while back.
Awesome.
My own tier, so it wasn't like top. Not in the first tier. It was tier 3, but still, I was pretty happy with that because it was a 1-versus-1 tournament. I've never done those basically before, so it was.
That's awesome.
That taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, someone's calling me on Skype. Let me ignore this.
Hello.
Multiple calls.
Just bring them on in and be like, hey, by the way, you're live.
Right? It's like, it's my boss.
They'll be like, what?
Wait, which boss?
But yeah, talking about gaming and females in competitive gaming as well as any other, I found some interesting articles, and one of them was, let me look up the data. One was
I'll paste those into chat.
about how many gamers are actually female. It was around 41%. I think we can probably get the link in the chat as well. Yeah, there it is.
Who has
So,
the Chris Roberts? Oh, okay. Sorry, there's a Chris Roberts emote in chat that I've never seen before. My bad.
Nice.
Continue.
So yeah, I was actually quite surprised that it's that many women actually go into gaming. Do you think that was surprising to you that it's as high as 41%?
Yeah, I remember reading something on that in 2015, the percentage of female gamers, and I was really shocked about that. I had no idea.
Well, and I like how that one article said that percentage actually hurt, the statistics actually hurt female gamers as much as helped, because of the whole controversy on how much of that is real gaming and how much of that is tablet and phone gaming.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like Jewel Quest and
Yeah.
all the little yeah.
So I like this breakdown where it goes into more detail about the different genres that female gamers are in.
Yeah.
Do we have that graph? Because that was actually really cool.
Yeah, I think so.
The chat might be interested to see some of that.
I pasted all
Yeah.
that in chat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at it's very interesting because Family Farm Sim, I'm way into that. and that's apparently 70% females.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But it's actually quite surprising. If you look at the graph, you can see that if you think about Star Citizen, like in which categories does it really drop down on? You can see that many of them aren't the ones basically that female gamers usually turn to. But even though Star Citizen has quite a strong female community as well. And if you see, look up the graph, there's atmospheric exploration, which has
41%.
Yeah, it's actually quite a lot what Star Citizen is about, really, like for many people as well.
Well, and that's something special and unique about Star Citizen is it'll fall in so many different genres. So I think as it expands and as we get more stuff in the verse, that it'll attract more female gamers.
What's match 3? At 69%.
Candy Crush,
All right, those
stuff like that.
Okay, that would
Yeah, like
that
the
would
match the jewels and things. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's only about 7% it's saying first-person shooters. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, it's weird because actually a lot of people that I game with, and my sister included, is super into first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Super into it. It says that, sci-fi MMOs, 16% of us, which also doesn't make sense to me because I've played a lot of sci-fi MMOs with women. So I don't know if I flock to women or that information's a little skewed. But
it could be about the take as well that they've taken into the research.
And not to discredit mobile games, I spend an unhealthy amount of time on a mobile game.
Well, when do you play?
When?
What do you play?
Oh, it's not that interesting. It's a game called True Skate. And it's basically you ever played those old tech deck skateboards? It's like a little skateboard you can control with your fingers, but it's the physics. But the physics is super realistic. So if you know how to skateboard, you can actually do really cool stuff in the game. And I play it all the time. I get in trouble every time I go to family dinner because they just see me looking down, are you okay? Are you on your phone again? I'm like, no.
It's work. I promise.
It's a work email. Everything's on fire. Sorry.
That's awesome. I don't think I have any. I think I have Yahtzee. I think that is my only mobile game. The Legion companion app doesn't count.
I have 2048 and 2 Dots.
What's 2 Dots?
I actually have that as well.
It's a puzzle game.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a Connect 3, but you only connect 2.
Sophie's taking notes.
Yep, 2 Dots.
Yeah, I was sorry if we just derailed this with mobile games, but I'm just curious. I never look at, I just use my phone for social media mostly.
Yeah.
So, I have Hearthstone. That doesn't count because I don't really play it, though.
Some of those games are really addicting, and they're just really basic.
They
You ever played the one where
are.
you have to cut the rope to try and make the thing swing to the end? I don't even know. It's probably called rope.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah. Or the other game where you have to get water to the alligator. Those really simple games, I love them.
I used to really like Angry Birds when I first.
Totally, it's great. It's a little washed out now just because it's
there's so
overkill.
many different ones now, but yeah.
Isn't there an Angry Birds movie?
Yeah, the thing about mobile gaming though is it's something you can do in 2 minutes.
It is. It really is.
Something you can
there's
pick
a ton
up
of
on the way somewhere, or
Exactly.
Exactly.
You don't have to get too invested in it.
There's a ton of people at my work that on breaks you see them walking around playing Pokemon Go on their phones, or getting a Hearthstone match in their 15-minute break time. So it's really interesting.
It's all about that instant gratification.
It is. It really is.
The busier I get at work, the more I find myself drawn to those type of games, which is one of the reasons I play so much Rocket League, is because I know that if I jump into a game, there's a 5-minute timer on the match. After that, I can walk away.
5 minutes, you're done.
But then you play World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2, and it's you got to have some time set up.
You have to stick through the whole battleground or match that you're doing. Same with Overwatch and stuff like that too. You have to do it to the end. There's something I was going to say, and I don't remember what it was.
I take it back. I have one other game on my phone.
What is that?
Because I was going to pick on Tyler and ask when Star Citizen is coming to mobile. But I actually have a Star Citizen game on my phone.
Oh, is it the Aurora?
It's called Astro Crusade.
Oh.
And it's basically, it's like Galaga.
Love Galaga. Anything that's a Galaga clone, I will play it. I know what I was going to say. Tyler, do these people know how good you are at Rocket League? I'm just gonna, toot your horn.
I've watched your Rocket League.
You're like a proud parent.
I am a proud parent of you and Wikipedia, man. You guys are like, what rank are you? I'm not too familiar with the ranking system, but you're super high up there.
I'm ashamed to say this, but I downranked myself.
That's okay. What was your highest rank?
On purpose. That way I could mess with the new people. But it was, I don't even remember the name of it. It was like the shooting star that was hollow, but
yeah.
Mom, you're embarrassing me, Mom.
No, I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so proud.
By the way,
both of my boys do such a good job. Okay.
Star Citizen on mobile, I mean, avoiding technicalities, we're kind of already there, right? Because of two-factor authentication.
Doesn't really count.
That's not a game, though.
I would say it count. Yeah.
It's true. It just makes me angry. I'm like, I gotta put it. Where's my phone? That's all. I never find my phone when I need it. But coming from Blizzard,
the emails, man. The emails take forever.
Yeah, no, I've always been so bad about two-factor because I can't stand having to do it. However, coming from Blizzard, I know you can vouch for this, Fall. Like, it's so important. Like, it really will protect you.
It literally will protect you. You have no idea how many accounts can get compromised or do get compromised because you don't have an authenticator. So instead of you approving a login from your phone, you just don't know when your account gets logged into. And I mean, you can get hacked from anywhere. It blows my mind. Like, you just log into the wrong website of something totally unrelated to WoW, and these people somehow get your information and hack into your account. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Toys R Me says Star Citizen Rocket League tournament inbound. Oh, that'd be so cool.
Well, you could do Capture the Core. Not exactly quite the same thing, but pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is saying Zyloh was all-star, third highest rank.
There you go.
Ooh.
And Waka is equally as high, I believe. So.
Yeah, Waka is my wingman when it comes to Rocket League.
That's true. I don't know how many of you have watched my stream where I am playing a game with Waka, and Tyler will just come into the Discord and be like, "This is very important. It's an emergency, and I need Waka to just talk to me for 5 seconds." I'm like, Tyler.
Yeah, they're like.
Is this about Rocket League? And he's like, no. It's about Rocket League.
The last time I did it, we're in the middle of raiding in WoW, and I was like, I need Waka. It's really important. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Waka, come to my Discord channel right now. But then Fall sees my game pop up. It's like,
no, I just know you. I just know you, so I immediately know, if you're asking for Waka, it's Rocket League.
Anyway.
So are you playing Star Marine, Tyler?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? How are you?
I prefer the team elimination game mode. Elimination game mode more than Last Stand. Kind of the opposite of Lando in that regard. I like fast-paced, every man for themselves, high risk, whatever. I don't like to rely on my team all the time. I love Last Stand, but elimination is what I'm playing the most.
That's something that we haven't really talked about because we weren't live in December. So 2.6 had happened, and Star Marine had happened, and I think we're all super excited about Star Marine.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. I don't think you know how much it means to me that it is out. It's just I have a personal connection with Star Marine.
Same. I originally backed because of I heard about Star Marine. Back in 2014, 2013? I don't remember. But yeah, when somebody had told me, by the way, there is also going to be first-person shooting in this game, that is initially what had caught my attention and caused me to back. And then after that, just fell in love with everything else. So
yeah,
I got to try it. Actually, last week was it with Sophie and Eden Star, the first time ever.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I was pretty nervous at first because I wasn't sure which button I had to use for everything, all the key bindings and things.
I always remember V for veal.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's
And veal rhymes with heel.
Yeah,
That
V
is
for veal.
amazing.
yeah.
That's good.
I was so used to like spamming F that it was like so hard to get used to V being the heal button. I was like, what is why can't I heal? And then somebody was like, honey, it's V. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, so excited about it. Everybody's saying that what did they say? Last Stand camping for the win. Hey, I really like Last Stand. That's the capture the point one, right? That one's my favorite. Because it's a lot more tactical on like where you're going. So
Absolutely.
I'm all about tactical FPS. I played a lot of CSGO. So I mean, honestly, I like both. I've played a lot of COD too, but my preference is usually strategy.
I think the only problem I had with Last Stand was that I wasn't able to like chat to people to actually make like good team tactics.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh,
it made it a bit difficult in a way, like to organize.
I totally agree.
Yeah, especially when you don't really have voice connectivity with players like on your team. It's really hard to make call outs on what's going on, but I'm sure that'll change when voice comes out.
Yeah.
I do want to say that I am so proud of you guys, and I said this back in December too, but I am so proud of you guys, especially the QA team and the devs, because being in first wave PTU of Star Marine and how choppy and crashy and everything it was, and then in literally like a week you had come out with the live version and it was super smooth. I never crashed, like my frame rates were perfect, and it was literally over like a 5 to 6 day span that those major changes happened. I had never been like so proud of a release. Because in PTU, I was a little frustrated. I was like, man, the game will start really well, and I'll have like 60 FPS, and then like 5 minutes in, I'll be at like 1 to 2 frames, and then the server will crash, and then so I didn't play for a couple of days, and then live released, and it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, there's definitely some very dedicated developers that were working on it. Big shout out to QA and DevOps and all the engineers. Production, I mean, late nights. It comes with releasing patches.
Yeah.
So they work their asses off, and it's important to remember that we will get to a point again where a patch is crashy and laggy and buggy. This is just the process of iterative game development.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, it's been a lot of fun playing Star Marine, and I think what's been most fun is I like elimination too, Tyler. I love that. Just run around and kind of whatever. The other day, I was playing, and Eden and I came around the corner. We hate shooting each other in game, but so every time we come across each other, we just start screaming. We're like, ah! And then we just keep shooting each other till the other one's dead. But it's cool because in elimination, you get to kind of solo your way through the map. You solo your way in your head, your strategy solo, right? So there's a slightly different way to look at the mappage versus when you're doing Last Stand. And I like Last Stand because we'll get on like we were just talking about, we'll get on over our headsets, and Eden Star is great at taking point. We'll be like, okay, we're going over to, just feel real badass doing this. That's all. We'll meet you at Bravo, and we get all really into it. And then we meet up. And what's awesome is when it actually plays out the way that we've been talking about it. For me, it's my first experience doing that with other people. I had never played a game where I coordinated anything. And that's what I liked about, actually flying my ships in the universe is the multi-crew aspect and geeking off of being able to have a bunch of people in my ears and working out something in space and talking about I'm going to send the scout ship ahead, and I found something over here. We need to start mining. Yeah, but we got to go rescue so-and-so, and then to add the ground combat aspect, which is the way I'm looking at it is I'm practicing that. And it's been a lot of fun to do that, especially with other girls. I like it.
Yeah, the whole multi-crew aspect of the game is going to be absolutely amazing, especially when mining and farming and all of those come out. And Yeah, it's going to be super fun. I'm already having a blast with people in the game, so it's going to be even more fun when it's like persistent universe, everybody in the same ship, like going on a mission, or like, if we have to go intercept some pirates. Say you're in like a capital ship, like the Idris, and you have to go intercept some pirates, so everybody gets in their ship, inside that ship, and like takes off from the ship. Oh, it's going to be so fun.
Yep.
It's like thinking about Rogue One. Like I saw Rogue One a couple of times when it released, and that end scene where they're like, and it's like the original pilots and they're like fighting, and that's just how it's gonna feel like for me.
No spoilers, but how many people when watching Rogue One went, "Oh my god, I can't wait to do that in Star Citizen"?
Oh god, the whole time.
For me, I get that feeling a lot when I watch The Expanse.
Oh, it's a good show.
Yeah,
that one.
The Expanse is like Star Citizen, the TV show. It really is.
It's a great show. I love it.
It is amazing. And season 2 should be coming out soon.
Very soon. Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Me too.
I get that collective feeling when I watch the new Voltron on Netflix. There's something about the antics and I don't know, just the way it plays out in my mind. It's like, yeah, this is, I can translate it easy to how I envision gameplay for multi-crewing. Though, we don't get to form up and make a giant lioness, but,
Well, apparently The Expanse comes, a new season's tomorrow.
Someone's saying next week. Is it tomorrow?
Next week. One of them is wrong and one of them is right.
It's soon.
Or both could be wrong. We'll go with soon TM.
There's also, this one's kind of a given, but Firefly as well always gets me excited for Star Citizen.
Yes. I've been rewatching Firefly lately.
Yeah.
It's basically I've been watching, I watched all of the Stargates and pretty much every sci-fi series there is out there. I'm such a nerd with those. I can't really, even when watching those, I was thinking that I would love to play that game if it was out there. Yeah. Now it is, basically.
Yeah. It's coming.
Not to derail the conversation, but there's a lot of genres that I'm like, if there was just an MMO for this, I'm just gonna go there total derail. Like if Harry Potter had an MMO, I'd be done. You
guys would never see me again. I'm sorry. You would never see me again. I really wish, and that's another reason why I really want I can't wait for Star Citizen, because I played a lot of Star Trek Online years ago. I'm a huge fan of Star Trek, and that game would be so much fun if they had fixed certain ground aspects and stuff. So I'm hoping that Star Citizen's gonna be I'll be able to relive the Star Trek Online days in Star Citizen, going out and exploring and meeting new alien races, and being able to build a crew and man a ship like that and stuff like that. Yeah, no, Harry Potter MMO, I'd be all over that. I'd play Quidditch all day, dude. I'd be like,
we'd never see Fallaste again.
Nope.
Speaking of Quidditch, I'm excited for the day when we have Sattaball relative to Star Marine.
Yes.
Somebody posted recently on Reddit some pictures of the suits that we showed off a while back, and I love everything about that.
Talking about Quidditch and the flying, what do you think about the new flight model?
So I know this is kind of a controversial topic, right? Because a lot of people don't like it. Obviously, we all know that. A lot of people like it. It's interesting. It's very split, which I find interesting because some people, they're very vocal about not liking it. They may even say they hate it and they get aggressive. But I'll say this as a PSA. It's very important to remember that this is an extremely iterative process when you look at the basic functionality of the game where we were even just 12 months ago, right? When all you had was Arena Commander, and then where we're at now, how much changes. And there's a lot of new stuff in there, right? Playing Crusader and flying around moons and stuff. But there's a lot of the stuff that, isn't new, but it's just changed so much.
Yes.
261, there's going to be a lot of changes to the flight. One of the things that we value at CIG, and I think we've kind of shown this with the issue council, with the PTU phases, is that feedback is so valuable to us. And so we take it so seriously. We don't just, browse the forums and Reddit and see what people think. I mean, we use complex algorithms to do analytics and data, to keyword searching on our forums, on third party, just to really understand what people are happy with, what they're not happy with. And then additionally, we have internal playtests regularly. So sometimes, just a little shout out to some of you who are out there who I get these messages like, "Are you paying attention?" I'm like, "More than you know, my friend," and I appreciate it because, and I never ever get upset about people that like get aggressive because it all stems from passion, which is why all of us at CIG are here. So I love it. So the flight model, I think there's really good things about it. There's some things that I don't. I like the new changes for Afterburner, being able to like basically control your cruise speed. I think that just feels really good. It feels like you have more control over your ship. And I'm really excited to see what everybody thinks with the changes coming in 2.6.1 and all the patches beyond that. And one analogy, not really an analogy that I like to compare this to, if you look at, I always compare things to World of Warcraft just because I worked there for so long. It's what I know. Came out in 2004, and now it's 2017. And if you look at their latest patch notes, it'll say like, for the hunter, tweaking this by 2%, this by 1%, this, and the patch notes are massive for rebalancing stuff. And it's like, well, why are you rebalancing stuff, 12, 13 years after the game released? And that's iterative game development. And so all the feedback that I'm seeing on the forums, on the issue council, on Reddit, I love it. Don't stop, keep it coming, because we're using the hell out of it.
Yep. Well, I would also like to say really quick that also counts for most other game companies, guys. Like, if you throw your feedback out there, they are listening a lot more than you know. Tyler talks about, working for Blizzard and World of Warcraft a lot. I do work for Blizzard and I work for World of Warcraft. We're listening a lot more than people think that we're listening. All of those balancing changes and everything happen due to feedback from the community. We love the community. We love the passion of the community. And that'll go for almost every gaming company. They're listening.
Yeah. What about you guys? Flight model.
Well, I did want to say that I noticed on the video they showed on ATV, that little snippet of 2.6.1 with the M50, which is my favorite, that the SCM speed was, in fact, about 30% higher. So the SCM speeds is one of the contentious issues, and some people think it's slow. And so that's just kind of that little proof, that little validation that CIG is listening and doing something.
Well, the thing to remember is that there is a very good chance that we go the complete polar opposite. We make ships slower. There's a chance that we revert it and make them way faster. And there's a very good chance that we do both. It's an iterative process. And we do it until it feels right. There's no one designer that's just saying, this is how I think it should be because I know how it should feel like. I mean, ultimately, this is a crowdfunded game. We have massive support, and so we do our best to utilize it. And then we also, and it's not completely one-sided. It's important to remember that we also have, people that have been in the industry for decades and decades and decades that have a lot of experience with what will be fun in end game. Because right now, a lot of the core functionality of the actual gameplay isn't in yet, right? When you look at the Hornet Ghost and how it has stealth capabilities that really aren't in yet, there's a lot of gameplay mechanics that will come into play that might make things feel better later that we're building a foundation for now, so we don't have to redo work. And so it's important to remember when you're playing the content now that maybe it's not balanced for it to feel perfect now, but for it to feel perfect when all of the other, things are in as well. And so, it's iterative. It'll change, but keep the feedback coming because it's so valuable to us. Uh-oh, you're muted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
I was going to say, I really love the new flight model, actually, because it was closer to the flight model that I used to practice on before. And then I had a huge break in between, and I couldn't fly at all in the newer ones when the speeds were way up from that point. And now it feels more like at home. I don't know, it was so much easier flying now for some reason. And especially the combat, because the distances aren't that big as they used to be. Like the combat is much more like close quarters in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm
It is
actually
and
on
it
the I'm on the flip side of that, I think, Merekat. So I'm not a big fan of it. I'm so disappointed with where we're at right now. Realizing that we're taking I'm like my flight sticks, I put them away because I just can't fly right now. I'm not enjoying it. I like space. I like the feel for me right now is just I'm moving in molasses. I don't get the opportunities to step back a little bit and figure out the moves I'm going to make and get that dance in a dogfight that I really like.
Mhm.
So I'm not experiencing that, which I'm missing. And then I don't care for the drops. So I've got to go and pick up my fuel, and it just kind of takes away for me. It takes away from the experience of zoning into a dogfight. I go like, I got to go pick this little tool up. You know,
Yeah.
I think there's a bit more to that, though, even. Like, part of the problem with the drops is the discrepancy in fuel efficiency, where boosting uses more fuel than afterburner. So the drops, it's partially the drops and partially not being able to use them to your advantage in what seems like a logical way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So curious.
It's just a nuisance. It's really just, it takes you out of the fight and completely takes your focus away. Even for a couple of seconds, it's agitating more than like, oh, yay, let me go grab this because I need it. It's like, I want to focus on the fight. I want to focus on what I'm doing. It totally derails it for me.
At the same time, though, it was also annoying when people would just respawn to get more missiles or to refill their ammo.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
So I'm curious to hear what do you guys think would be a middle ground? Not suiciding for more missiles, but pickups being distracting. I mean, do you guys have an opinion on what might be, a middle ground? Just totally curious. I'm not a designer. I can't make this change, but I'm interested in this.
Maybe if the pickups, like the proximity, you didn't have to be right on top of it to pick it up. Maybe if you were in a certain range, so it didn't take you too far away from your thought process and your tactical thinking. Maybe that would be something.
Like an area of effect, like if you got near it, it would pick it up.
Yep. Or if you're doing X amount of damage, you're compensated by, that shows up in. It just. Listen, I'm no space mathematician here.
No, this is cool though. Like this is totally not my wheelhouse, right? This isn't what I do at CIG.
Okay.
But it's super interesting to me. And I love these types of discussions. I mean, there's like a million ways you could do it, right? So it's cool. And then it's also cool to me that the two of you are on completely, different opinions on the same topic, and I see that all the time. That's my wheelhouse. Seeing people disagree. I see that every day. But yeah, I liked your ideas.
It'd be nice to be getting compensated for the damage that you're doing somehow,
or like
rather than
kill. You get a certain amount of kills and you get something back. Or
somehow.
Oh, what if you killed somebody and then you took whatever they had? I don't know. There's just so many weird things.
Yeah, I mean, that's another possibility too, right? Yeah. And actually, I'm sure chat, if we open this up to, hey, chat, what do you think? You would just get a nice long...
Oh, they're already on it.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, they're already talking about it. Yeah.
and actually, Tyler, that's something that... this is a topic of conversation that, at least for me and all the people I know who fly... It doesn't matter what org, whether it's RS, whether it's the anonymous group, whoever it is, the flight mechanics are such a hot topic, like we said. So this conversation is going on all the time. And, I don't know if there's a great way to give you more feedback than just, right here on the show. Is there?
I mean, honestly, the best way for feedback is always going to be on our forums. We have a game ideas section. Once we launch Spectrum, and we'll even have better functionality for gathering this type of feedback. But ultimately we look everywhere. We prefer it to be in-house. It's easily sortable for us. So being on the forums is always ideal. But we look everywhere. So as long as you're doing something, you're putting it out there, if you can get other people to weigh in. When we see a thread and it's obviously picking up traction, and that interests us, like what's going on here, there's good discussion. And, sometimes nothing's going on. It's just a bunch of guys all agreeing with each other and chatting. But it's great because then we know, look, all those people agreeing, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. I don't know how many times somebody says to me an idea and they're like, this should be this way. I'm not happy about blah, blah, blah. And it should be this way. And I'm like, that's a really good point, actually. Where have you posted it? And they're like, no
I
way.
haven't.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, but the thing is, if there's 200 of you that all agree with your statement, and none of you have posted it anywhere, then how are we supposed to know that a portion of the community feels this way? And I actually had one gentleman at the Bar Citizen at PAX South, and we were chatting about balancing and ship flight, and also just the state of the game. And he was very skeptical and very frustrated with the game, with CIG, with all this stuff. And I think that he kept saying, like, I don't mean to attack you, but blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not trying to. And I had to tell him, like, dude, like, you can be as upset as you want, because I know it all stems from passion. Everything that you're saying right now, whether I disagree with it or not, it is an opinion. And that is important, that you form your own opinion. Now, the only thing I want to know is, have you guided it anywhere officially so that we can see it in an organized capacity, in a constructive format? And by the end of our conversation, they were gonna go do that. And so it really goes a long way, longer than I think people think.
You bring up an excellent point, though, constructive. If you guys are going to put feedback on the forums, please be as constructive as possible with your ideas and your feedback. Don't rage out and, like, cuss at CIG and be like, you guys fucking suck. Like, this game sucks. I see it all the time on various gaming forums, and the best way to get your feedback heard is to be super constructive about it. Like, plan it out, think about it really well, write it out, like, exactly how you feel, why you feel that way, and keep it constructive.
By the way,
start a show so you could have open dialogue.
Well, that's a good point as well.
You could do that, but then again, it's not going to the forums, it's only going to him, and then CIG's like, well, where did you put this? No.
By the way, I just want to throw a little thing out there, because there was a lot of people at the Bar Citizen, so maybe some people know who I was talking to when I encountered that. And I just want to be very clear that person that I was talking to, I really liked them. I really do, because the amount of passion that they had, a lot of people don't have that for anything in their life, right? Like, I have skateboarding, I have video games, and I have hanging out with my best friends, and I'm passionate about these things. But a lot of people have nothing to be passionate about, very, whatever, day to day. And so that guy's passionate, and us agreeing or not agreeing, totally cool with me. I love that we had
awesome.
Totally. And you know what? Once we really got into the conversation, it was like a really deep conversation. I forgot where I was. I forgot who was around me, and we were just really getting into it. And a lot of people surrounded us and got into it too. And I love stuff like that. So by the slim chance that guy is somehow going to watch this VOD or in chat now, I appreciate you for really getting invested.
We definitely appreciate you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that happened at Star Citizen, or Bar Citizen, but good on you, dude.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome that you brought your stuff to the table. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And that you were able to talk to people in person about it. That's even cooler.
But
how many people can say that?
The importance of posting it, though, is still huge.
Yes, but how many people can say, hey, I went to a convention, happened to, run into an event where a bunch of game people were there, like community managers. I don't want to say developers because they weren't there, but community managers, and I got to air my grievances and, my ideas about a game. Not a lot of people get to really say that. So that's pretty cool.
It's a good combo.
So just a quick question, Tyler. So I know that when what we're talking about is when people get really excited about something and they get maybe frustrated and their anger comes out, but it's stemming from passion. And so you're saying go to the forums, put your ideas out there so we know what it is that you're thinking, and do it in a way that's constructive. We want to hear from you. Do it in a way that's constructive. What gets people banned from the forums? What is it? I'm serious. What is a line? Because you may say that you feel this way, but it could be that other people don't have your particular perspective on understanding that it's coming from a place of passion, a place of investment, a place of I want to communicate what I'm saying, and I'm frustrated. So what's a good way for people to get banned?
That's a great question. That's a good question.
I was laughing because I want to know too.
Convey.
Well, it's an interesting question, right? Because what gets people banned from the forums as a standalone question? I'm like, I could just here's the guidelines or whatever. But a lot of those, aren't as interpretable as they could be. By the way, quick side note: with the release of Spectrum, when that happens, we're revisiting a lot of how we're going to be handling moderation and how we're going to be. I mean, it's like this opportunity for us to make change, to do a lot of cool stuff. So currently, I mean, we don't, and so we have a lot of volunteer moderators on the forums that work alongside some people in our player relations team and all that. So it's kind of hard to answer how they can not get banned. I suppose I'll just say that if you're constructive, right, if you're passionate, but you're coming on the forums and you're clearly trashing something, it gets to a point when your forum posts isn't doing what it's intended to do because of the distractions that are in it. You can be passionate, but not say, SIG is effing trash because they're doing this and blah, 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 blah. Like when you make it like personal or start insulting your peers, it makes it really difficult to take your feedback seriously, but also to focus on it, right? So if you can go in there and just outline how you feel, and you can even express how you feel. Like, I'm very frustrated, this makes me angry, here's my solution. This is actually very common in game development, right? If you don't like something, if a designer, an artist, or developer is not, crazy about something that's in the game that's being worked on or whatever, you go forward and you say, here's what I don't like, but the most important thing is, here's how I think that it should be. Or even saying, I don't know how it should be, but this feels wrong. I mean, it's just about being constructive. It's the same with everyday life in a relationship, with a significant other, with your friends, with your family. There's just a respectful way to convey things. And honestly, it's more effective. And you can still be upset. We don't have no problem with that. It's just all about how you represent, your cause. So, I mean, I could get into nitty-gritty details, like don't use this word or that word, but I don't think we have time for that. But
So don't attack other people.
The 7 words you can't hear on TV.
Yeah. So is there, just so I know, because I've not been very active on the forums, so this is good for me to hear too, because I have certainly some ideas that I'd like to put out there. So is there a warning system? So let's say that somebody whose normal speech is just to rage out and fuck this and fuck that and just and is there a warning system? So somebody contacts them, a moderator will contact them and say, hey, tone it down a bit. It's more helpful if you do this. Or is there an insta-ban situation?
So I don't want to go too deep into exactly how we action or handle disciplinary stuff on our forums. Just because it's not really common to be completely transparent with that, and for most companies when it comes to that. Is there an insta-ban feature or insta-ban, a way to get insta-banned? I mean,
well, sure.
If you do something absolutely horrible, I'm sure, but for the most part, the team is very reasonable and goes through an array of warnings.
Okay.
And again, if any of this is stemmed from a specific situation, you can also always contact us, and we're more than willing to look into situations on a case-by-case basis.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're actually sort of running out of time in a way. So we should probably start the questions section as well. Like, are there many questions?
Yeah, we have quite a few questions, actually.
Oh, good.
Saren Graves would like to know, what does it take to set up a bar citizen?
You want me to take that one?
Go for it.
Sure.
From my understanding, it's as simple as taking ownership and doing it, and then plugging it in. Well, you don't even have to do this much, but plugging it into barcitizen.sc definitely helps with exposure. A lot of people have been using Eventbrite. There's a lot of other alternative options that you can use for RSVPs, researching a venue and really just rolling with it, planning an event and putting it out there. Generally, if people hit me up and say, hey, I've got this event coming up. Can you help push it out? I'm like, yeah, and I'll tweet about it and help give it exposure as well. And yeah, I mean, it just comes down to doing it.
Yep.
Do we have the website?
It is. It's posted on the chat. It's barcitizen.sc. If you post there with your event ideas where you want it to be held, they will give you a full array of resources. I also believe they do have a Discord that you can join, and they'll be more than happy to help get bar citizens set up in your area, or at least give you the tools to be able to do it.
Yes.
A very nice group of
If anybody wants to do a bar citizen and you're feeling hesitant or nervous about taking on that responsibility, reach out to Joran. I'm sure that he would totally work with you.
Oh, he's incredible.
For the first one. I mean, honestly, he's one of those guys that I
Joran's
feel
one of the
like
best.
I've met him once in person, but I feel like I'm going to know that guy for the rest of my life. Like, he's such a good guy.
He's incredible. He's got the level of enthusiasm that's just unmatched.
Yeah, totally.
For Star Citizen and for each person. So it's not just like, he meets one person and then you see him kind of turn that charm off or turn it off. He's just passionate and will talk to you forever and talk to anybody. And you'll contact him. I mean, the man has a full-time job and this is his hobby, but he manages, I don't know how many Discords he's a part of. I don't know how many different projects and different Bar Citizens, but just message him and he's so happy to help you connect up and organize if you need help organizing. I mean, that's what happened here in Florida. Gray-headed Gamer reached out to him and said, hey, man, there's a bunch of us here, but all of us were so busy that we just couldn't do it. And Jordan made it happen for Florida.
Yeah.
So
Jordan's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, hype.
We also had people ask about certain Bar Citizens and like the Bar Citizen at the GDC. And I think the answer there is go to barcitizen.sc and look for it.
Yes.
They also have a Twitter account.
I see a gentleman in chat, which I would like to call out as being one hell of a handsome man, Cameron Wilkie. Yes, he asked earlier about the GDC Bar Citizen and barcitizen.sc for all the details. Somewhere in San Francisco. I'm not exactly sure the location, but it looks like it's going to be a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, two people asked similar questions here. Commander Z-Man would like to know what color ships does Tyler plan on having, and is there a specific reason for his color choice? And Bristol Boy would like to know what color will your saber be and why?
It's so funny. Those questions really do match. The Saber Comet. I love the blue glass. I love it. That's actually my favorite color blue. Whatever ship I have will be that color blue. And what color will my saber be? Well, I'd probably just roll with the Comet. Maybe I would change the camo to be like a black, but I'd keep the blue cockpit and the blue accents on the wings.
Yeah. I'm not big on camo in space.
Yeah. I blend in with those asteroids.
I don't know. They blend pretty well on their own.
Yeah.
Love you too, Cameron. I was certain Mr. Whitkin was talking about me, says Mammon Lord.
Yeah. You broke his heart, man. How could you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So what about everyone else? What color are you going to make your ships?
Well, for me, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? It's probably going to be black, red, white, maybe.
Love it.
I think me and Sofiegrl are about the same here.
Yeah, I see Sophie giggling here.
Just say it at the same time. Just say it at the same time. What color?
Fucking pink, dude.
Pink, yeah, for sure. Pink all day long. Pink.
And I'm in like pearlescent pink ships, just freaking blowing everybody out of the sky.
Glorious.
Amazing.
I totally saw that coming.
Yeah.
It sounds like you two need to be on a pink multi-cruise ship together.
It'll happen. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I love the red tinted glass. Like you're saying about the blue.
Yeah,
I love the red tinted.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the red.
I would go and sit in my hangar and just sit my ship and look out my glass. And then I'd like go around my ship taking pictures of me in the red glass. Let's do it. I actually tried to set up a sim pit on my couch at my previous place, and then I got red lighting to try to get that effect around me. Well, it didn't work out because I can't game on a couch with a joystick, but I tried it. End game would be a sim pit with red cockpit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
Dragger, you say shoot here pink, but only if we didn't catch you first. I'm just saying. Just saying. You better be quick on the flip and draw, man. Oh, I like Wacka's idea. Hello Kitty Idris. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
See, and of course I've got to be all different. Since I'm a graphic designer, I want as much customization on my ship skins as possible. And so I want to make them every color and customized and personalized. And
tie-dye.
Yeah, if I could sell ships,
I was just going to say.
If I could make them and sell them, I would be very happy.
That would be a great mod, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Can I make a suggestion, Tyler? Can we have like ship modification and like painting and stuff similar to GTA 5, where you just have like that whole layout and it's like choose from these paint jobs and like this type of paint and then all of the other different modifications.
Give me 1 second. Let me just add that to the game really quick.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Like,
you.
let me just put in this line of code.
You guys should see a new patch now on your launcher.
Download it now.
Tyler's the best.
Yeah.
So, Mogamus would like to know, have you heard anything new about the gameplay changes coming to Star Marine that Todd Pappy discussed on Happy Hour? Do you think Star Marine should slow down and become more tactical?
Me?
Yes.
I guess all of us.
I mean,
Me
all of
first.
us.
Fall, kick it off.
Guess first, dude.
Oh, is that how it goes?
Yeah.
I tried to step up and push it off. Yeah, I'm all for tactical shooters. I'm a huge fan of like Arma and stuff like that. And I think that the intention is definitely for it not to be run and gun. And there's a lot of changes that'll come to the radar that'll really help with that. A lot of changes to just the overall the map rules mechanics that'll help with that. I know that Chris has always been really keen on the idea of the in other games they call Last Stand, where you can't just keep respawning. And so I think there's just going to be a lot of changes over time that make it more tactical. And yes, I would love to see it be more tactical. And I think once we have more gadgets, I think once we have a better way to communicate with each other, I think that it'll really bring it more in line with what's envisioned.
Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you on that. I would love to see it be a lot more tactical. Like, there's so many run and gun games out there. You could play any COD game and it's a pretty much run and gun game. So I'd like to see more tactical shooters out there. And that's, I believe, what he originally wanted it to be.
Yeah,
So.
a lot of the like endurance mechanics aren't in, the breathing stuff. So it'll just like the flight mechanics, the iterative process will hopefully keep refining and feeling better and better until. Well, I was going to say till we're all happy with it, but that doesn't happen in MMOs. There's never a point when everyone is happy.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I found it that if obviously a few shots can kill you if you hit in the head, basically.
Mhm.
Like especially with the medium armor. I don't know if it's gonna be like if they're gonna add the heavy armor there as well, and how that's gonna affect, but especially with the grenades, if they hit, like, the radius is quite high or quite big for them to actually kill you on the first shot. So it's basically
The grenades are very interesting.
yeah.
It's always interesting.
Yeah.
Yep, and then you kill yourself. I've killed myself. The first time I played Star Marine, I didn't realize that there was force fields on the doors that were like separating the outside from the inside.
Yeah.
It would make sense, right? Obviously, it makes sense because you got gravity in there, and then you come out into space and you float around, right? Yeah, I threw it through the door, bounced off, hit myself in the face, and killed myself. And I was like,
Yeah.
this game is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I get the whole like armor, like light armor, medium armor, heavy armor and stuff, but in my opinion, for a tactical shooter, there's way too much bullet sponging, and I hope that gets fixed. Because like if you're not aiming at the head, you're emptying like 4 clips into a person before they die, and it's like even when you aim at the head, it's still like half a clip before they die, so it's kind of a little insane.
I think that it'll get better as it's refined, but also as the network improves, because desync can be another thing that can cause issues.
Yeah, true.
By the way, this is so fun. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's so
Good. The time has just flown. When Merekat said something, I was like, what? Really? I feel like we're just getting to start talking about stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Maybe you should try emptying magazines instead. _ says, fight me 1v1 in Star Marine _
I'm
We'll
just
see
proud
who
of
wins.
him. I'm proud of him for saying magazines, because a lot of people call it clips, and that's not what it is.
Like clips. Yeah. Yeah.
So Nitro Typat, who is also our producer for the evening,
Awesome.
is wondering, has Zyloh tried learning any of the alien languages yet?
I have not. I think the first thing that I'll do when I have more free time is let my family know that I'm still alive. And then maybe I'll find some time to start learning the alien languages. It's been very busy.
Maybe that could be like a 5-year goal, Tyler. Maybe you could be like just becoming fluent in like Vandal language or one of the other languages, similar to what people do with the Klingon language. That'd be really cool.
Well,
I'd do it.
created a
I want to learn Vandal.
I might stick with the translator, to be honest with you.
Somebody created a translator already?
Yeah, they did. Well, they made like was it Vandal or Xian or Jean? Like a keyboard.
I can't remember which.
Gian. I usually call it
Community
Gian.
Hub. Plug in the website.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
Hub, find out more details.
We saw, I don't know if you guys saw it yet. It's the new, is it Citizen Spotlight, Tyler?
Citizens of the Stars.
Yeah, Citizens of the Stars.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's the first episode. I just saw it came out, I think, last night. And Astropub was actually featured in there. And a couple of the other guys with their community content posted. And I thought that was a nice gesture on CIG's part to highlight the community in a special program. That's cool.
I wish we could do more. I mean, it's crazy keeping up with the community hub, the amount of content that comes in every single day.
I can't. It's got to blow your mind. The stuff that people create, like
there's like a creative like world that is just like come to us. Like where are you? It's unreal.
It's nuts.
Yeah. So now we've got the This Week in Star Citizen comlink post, which we do every Monday, which gives a schedule of all the podcasts and whatever, and it also highlights 5 cool things that the community have done. And we do them themed every week. So we did screenshots last week. This week was 5 cool videos. And next week we're talking about maybe doing like Craft Citizen or something.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
That'd be cool.
So there was like there was Screenshot Citizen, Capture Citizen. Maybe we'll do Craft Citizen. So we have that opportunity to highlight the community. But then we also have the new show, Citizens of the Stars. So then we do another top 5 in there and a Citizen Spotlight. And it's just like, honestly, we can't cover it all. We need like 10 more shows, and we're not going to do that, obviously. But Tyler,
I just real quick, I felt like for a while there was this big push on CIG's part to highlight the community, and then I felt a little bit of that recede, and it felt like you guys might have been trying to go not corporate. That's not the word I want to use, but a little bit more mainstream, or I don't know, something. I felt like you backed away from the community a little bit, and now it feels like that pendulum is swinging back again towards focusing on the community.
Yes, no, totally. It's very similar to the flight balancing. It might become slower. It might become way faster.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's an ever-evolving thing. Iteration in game development goes beyond the actual game, but it goes to all the teams involved, including community. And so we do a little R&D, a little research and development. We do some exploration. We have a massive audience. Over 1.6 million people have signed up on the website. And then on top of that, there's tons of people that know about us and are curious and exploring. And a lot of times what they do is they go to Twitch or YouTube to see, like, is this something I'm interested in? And so there's like there's a constant dynamic change of, what can we do to serve them best with information and content. The community management team, it acts as a bridge of communication between development and the community. And so we're always exploring new ways to do that. We're always exploring new ways to make it better. And so what you saw was literally that type of exploration.
Very cool. Well, I'm happy to see that's swinging, and I know things will change and wax and wane, but it's nice to see that CIG is seeing like the community is really a big support for us, and it's probably a good idea to stay in touch with that and be involved in that. And because I know from being part of the community that's one thing that the community likes is that connection with the development of the game and feeling the proximity.
Yeah, that's one thing that my team is not. We don't like the stagnance of, all right, we've done something, now let's just do it over and over. We're always trying to push the envelope in the same way that our development team is, as far as community interaction and transparent development goes. I mean, if you just look at the amount of content, not everybody's gonna like it all. Some people hate bug smashers, some hate lore makers. One guy told me that I looked like an idiotic neckbeard on Happy Hour Friday. It happens, right? It happens. You can't please everybody. But I find comfort knowing that even if we can't please everybody, that we will continue to try. So.
But that's still something that many game developers or what's the word, companies don't really have, like that kind of see-through, like.
Yeah. No, totally, the transparency, and it's a huge balancing act, right? Because it's like if it was up to just like me, Jared, and Ben, we would just give you guys the world, right? But at the end of the day, we're also trying to make a game, and so we want to disrupt the development team as little as possible, because that is the number one priority here. We're all trying to explore this universe together, and so it's a balancing act where we have to get as much information and content to share with you guys and entertain you at the best we can, but also make sure that the developers, we're not taking their time.
Speaking of developers, just wanted to salute Sean Noonan in the chat. I don't remember which office he's in or which studio he's in, but he worked on Star Marine, didn't he?
I don't know. You
Sean. You don't talk to Sean?
I haven't worked with Sean
Oh my God. I have played so much Star Marine with Sean. He's an awesome person. We follow each other on Twitter. I think he works in the UK studio. He can tell us.
Please do.
But yeah, I believe he worked on Star Marine, so definitely say hi to him.
Who's rolling dice in the background?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you tell him.
It sounds like the tiniest little dice you've ever heard. I'm just imagining someone with
They're
a
just
tiny
like
dice.
playing D&D like as quietly as possible, and they're like,
that's basically
I gotta roll for it, like whatever they call it.
I've got a question for Tyler. I know that we have maybe not a lot of time left, and chat's asked some questions, so we'll try to get another.
My Skype is blowing up, and it's making me worried. What's on fire?
No.
It could be our conversation too, but yeah.
Tyler, are you surprised that we haven't asked you about the female model?
No, because I knew it was coming.
I wanted to ask. Thanks. Thank you.
I will tell you my opinion on the female character model. Okay. I am so ready for it to be in the game. I'm so ready for there to be diversity, not just in gender, but in the way that our characters look. Yes. When I play fantasy MMOs, like I like to play as human male characters because I can relate to my character. I like to immerse myself in that role. And I want everybody else, and I know how important that is to me, right? I've tried playing an elf or whatever, and I'm just like, I can't really relate to what I'm playing as.
Yeah.
And so that struggle that I have with wanting to immerse myself in my character, now I imagine people are having that with our game. Like, I don't want to be bald. I can't relate to them. Like, I want to be a female. Like, I want to be a different ethnicity, whatever. And
I just want eyes that don't look like I'm dead.
Yeah. No,
Those dead eyes are the scariest thing I've ever seen.
So, and a lot of work's being done on it. I mean, with our animators in the Austin studio have been doing a lot of work on the animation. We have Josh Herman, our character art director in LA. That guy is phenomenal. I mean, Groot, Iron Man, like this guy has done some cool stuff. And so I have full faith that it's going to be awesome. And I wish it was here now. But yeah, we'll get there.
Also, salutes to Disco Lando in the chat. And Disco Linda. But Disco Lando is also here for real.
Hello,
Lando.
Hello.
Little late to the show, Disco.
I know, what the heck?
Late to the show, man. We've been going for an hour and a half. Maybe he was lurking. He was just sitting back.
Probably was. Probably looking for his keys.
Probably.
Could be. Do we have time for another question or two?
Let's do it.
Well, why don't we just go out on one last fun question?
Okay.
If you were a Harry Potter character, who would you be? That's from Commander Z-Man.
Okay, so I'll go first because I answered this at a different interview over PAX, but Luna Lovegood, 100%.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Heck yeah, we could both be Luna.
All right, I'll go next. I would say Ron because he's a goofball.
Yes,
and
Ron.
I feel like I'm a goofball sometimes. But also, he's got a big, warm, happy family. And it just seems like a good place to be. So I'm going to go with Ron.
I don't know, man. Like, Ron's such an interesting character. Like, I watching him develop through all of the books and all the different struggles and his personality that he went through. I think if I had to be any Weasley person, it would be the twins, like one of the twins.
Okay, spoiler alert, cover your ears if you haven't seen all the Harry Potters. Here we go. But Ron ends up with Hermione.
Another spoiler. That
And
Don't
we
spoil-
derailed.
Okay, that J.K. I'm sorry, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so
Okay.
I just nerd out super hard. J.K. Rowling actually posted on Twitter that she did not expect to see Ron and Hermione last in a relationship, and that they do divorce later on in life.
Aw.
Yeah, I know, ruined so many people. I'm sorry, Tyler. Bye. Yeah,
Breaking my heart, Fall. You
I
ruined my
know. I know. I'm sorry.
immersion.
Yeah, ban that guy.
Dumbledore dies.
Ban him. No, I'm just kidding. I remember when like the Half-Blood Prince came out, and tshirthell.com. I don't know if that's still a website, but they literally had the first night a Dumbledore dies on page whatever t-shirt on the front page, right? And I was one of those people, like, I went to the midnight release, I read the entire book, like, within a 24-hour time span, and then I go over to my friend's house, and he's, like, looking at T-shirt Hell, sees it, takes his book, and just throws it across the room. He was like, that was the most biggest piece of bullshit I've ever seen. And I was like, yeah, dude, so you should never go on the internet. You're really young.
Yeah, it's
Should
the same
never
with
go on the
Facebook.
internet if you want spoilers.
Like if you follow some TV series Facebook page and they give out spoilers, like for example, for me in Finland, they don't come out the same rate as they do in the US.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like I get all the spoilers from there.
Yeah, sorry, we did derail, but it was like related to the section. Sophie, who'd you be?
So what was the question?
If you could
If
be
you were a Harry Potter character, who would you be?
I'd be one of those little dragons.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Just one of those little cute little dragons. That's all.
Oh,
Fair enough.
And vicious.
Yeah. I'd run around in the forest and just make friends with other
Just
little
be a dragon.
creatures. Be a dragon. Maybe hang out with a wizard or two sometimes.
You know Hagrid.
yeah.
What about you, MzHartz?
Well, I actually sometimes cosplay as Bellatrix.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice one.
You do?
I do. Yep, I
didn't
sometimes
know that.
cosplay as Bellatrix. But I guess that's probably not who I relate to the most. I think who I
hope
relate
not.
to the most is probably
Is who?
Hermione.
Hermione? Nice. That's very good. I love Hermione. She is one of my favorite characters.
I mean, for when I read the first book, that's like me as a kid if I had had confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, have we done it?
I think we
Did
did
we
it.
do it?
I think we did it.
We did it? Tyler, thank
Thank-
you so much for joining us today. This was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
thank you
man-
so much.
We
It meant
appreciate
a lot
you.
to me that you guys invited me on. It was an absolute honor, and I can't wait to get in game and play with you guys hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't wait
definitely.
either.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
We know that you're very busy, and we just really appreciate that you took time out of your workday to sit down and do this. It means a
Oh,
lot to
worth
us
it.
too, and the community. So thank you so much.
Oh, this was so fun. So
Yeah,
fun.
love to have you on again.
Woo.
Woo woo.
And by the way, for you guys watching, if you want to see, or if you know, like if your friends wanted to see this but couldn't today, it's going to be on YouTube later.
Yep,
So
it'll be up on
you can
YouTube.
watch the recording from there,
Yep.
from our own channel.
Mm-hmm.
You can also watch all of the recordings of, I believe, all of our shows from episode 1 are up on that YouTube channel.
Yes.
So check them
Yeah.
out if you've missed them. And yeah,
Great.
where can we find you guys?
Let Tyler start.
Twitter.com/Captain Zyloh, or pretty much any Twitch channel between the hours of 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. I
This
have
is
an
true.
addiction. But,
This is true. I met you, I believe, on Twitch.
I
almost
spend an
forgot the name.
unhealthy amount of time on Twitch for sure. What about you, Fall? Where can people find you?
You can find me on twitch.tv/Fallaste. You can also find me on Twitter as xFallaste. And I'm pretty much almost in every Star Citizen channel too. I do like a lot of Twitch. Next.
I'll go.
next? Yeah.
I am MzHartz here, there, and everywhere. MzHartz on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. If there's a social network, I'm probably on it.
You can find me in my house.
Sophie, what about you? Where can people find you?
I'm also on Twitch as Sofiegrl. It's Sofiegrl. And then on Twitter, I'm Sofiegrl, spelled the same way, but add, oh crap.
A 2.
2. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Yeah,
He's on this. He's got it.
I don't know why I knew that.
Sofiegrl 2 on Twitter. And then, yeah, I think those are the 2 places you can find me pretty easily. And yeah, yep, that's it.
And last but certainly not least.
Yeah, you can find me. I put the link to my Twitter on the chat because I don't want to spell it out. But you can find me on Twitch by the name Merekat SC, and pretty much on all the other services like Facebook, you can find me on Merekat Gaming. So
Sorry. I need to stop reading chat when people are talking because they make me laugh.
yeah, you can see the links in the chat as well now.
Nice.
Thank you.
And
It's nice
of
to
course-
see all of you guys.
You too. Well, hey, when Merekat, do we have the announcement for the next Diverse the Verse?
Yes, we do.
When is that gonna happen? Get your
so-
calendars out. Get them out.
Yeah,
Get your
mark
phones
them
out.
down. It's gonna be
Save
on
the date.
Saturday, February 18th.
Same time.
It'll be at
2:30
2:30 p.m.
EST.
Eastern. I can't
Awesome.
remember what that translates to.
Same
And
bet
Miss
channel
is gonna
though.
be hosting for the month of February, which is just kind of perfect.
Hearts for February.
Name
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. So we'll look forward to that. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, chat, thank you so much for being here, for being part of our discussions. And Merekat, thank you for being an awesome host today for the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for letting me host.
Yes,
This
you
one
did awesome.
I was a bit ill but made it through. So that's good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. It was a
All
lot
right.
of fun.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
Yeah, see you next time. Thank you
Good
guys
night.
for watching.
Have a good night.